Folks, hello and welcome to Tavern Chat. I'm your host, Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR. Folks, going forward, this content will be available on YouTube as usual and on the Green Monster Rumble. So, for immediate release, 7/28/2024, is The Age of Wolf an actual work by Dave Arneson or even a Blackmoor setting? So, what's going on here is that there is a piece of work that is going to be released at Gen Con. It claims to be Dave Arneson's Blackmoor. Dave's not involved in it. Dave is deceased. We're talking about his estate. Dave made this press release as of 2 days ago, but I'm going to. There's something I don't even think is mentioned in this press release, but I'll mention it when the time comes up. So let's look at the press release for a bit. Is The Age of the Wolf an actual work by Dave Arneson or even a Blackmoor setting? The Arneson estate believes it to be a fake. All right. This manuscript is reported to be Dave Arneson's last major work, which Studio Inkbat plans to distribute during events at Gen Con 2024. One would think someone wanting to publish an original work by Dave Arneson or even a work derived from Dave's ideas would be excited to collaborate with the family of Dave Arneson for the published work to have authenticity. Well, I think if they control, it's where I'm going to get a little crazy. We're going to have to dig into this a little bit. Who owns the Blackmoor trademark? Who owns the Blackmoor IP? So, this is far from what has transpired thus far. Studio Inkbat's attitude and actions leave the Arneson family utterly baffled. By the way, you don't need, this is not the way you should be doing a press release, in my opinion. It should be a little bit more professional, but in any case, Studio Inkbat, Denise Robinson, and C.A. Suleiman, that name should be familiar to people. There's some drama going back to 2017. I'm not going to go into it, but it's a name that should be remembered. Show no respect to the family's legal rights to control intellectual properties created by Dave Arneson and properties derived from his works. Additionally, Studio Inkbat has totally disregarded the family's feelings in matters which are very much a family decision. This leads the Arneson family to believe that Studio Inkbat's publication, The Age of the Wolf, is a counterfeit, which cannot be attributed in any way to Dave Arneson. Further, the estate emphasizes this publication violates their trademark and naming rights. Well, now you're going to be going, well, isn't the Blackmoor trademark owned by Wizards of the Coast? No. It was actually owned briefly by New TSR, but Blackmoor is actually a registered trademark, not owned by WotC. It is active. It's owned by the estate of David Arneson. So to use Blackmoor, and by the way, WotC has not disputed this. So to use Blackmoor, Dave Arneson's Blackmoor, I would suspect you need permission of the trademark owners. Now, maybe, and I don't know, maybe somebody doesn't believe that this trademark is legally owned by the estate of Dave Arneson. Well, whether it is or isn't, it is currently registered, and they are the people you most likely have to deal with. But we'll go back. I want to emphasize that we have not received any documentation proving the work is anything but a counterfeit. And I don't know, counterfeit sounds like a very strong word. But you would think that if Dave had participated on this project, there would be a contract. Now, I know some other stuff rolling around in the industry with an early creator of gaming material involving their work. There is an issue going on, but I think what's going to trump everything is the contract that the publisher actually has. a signed contract that was signed by the individual in question back at the time. Now, if Studio Inkbat has a signed contract from Dave Arneson, I think all the stuff becomes moot. Studio Inkbat shows no respect. Like I said before, I lost my place there for a second. We are very open to seeing anything that could disprove our current assessment, which could be forthcoming from Studio Inkbat. Again, a contract, a letter of intent, something written by Dave would certainly help. Studio Inkbat's behavior is puzzling to us, as it was Studio Inkbat who initially approached the Arneson estate looking for the estate's blessing on the Age of the Wolf book. At first, they claimed Dave Arneson had contributed to the manuscript before his untimely death in 2009. Since email exchanges with the Arneson estate, they are now walking that back and saying he was leading a team producing this adventure. They also said they were publishing it to honor Arneson, the co-creator of D&D, and planning on giving 100 copies away for free at Gen Con. Sounds nice enough, and it could have been simple. We exchanged pleasantries back and forth and requested they provide the estate with 3 things to move the process forward. We asked Studio Inkbat multiple times to show us any documentation they have. Again, this is verbal contracts suck. Get it in writing. Notes, correspondence, or a contract that shows Dave Arneson worked on this project or granted any rights to his intellectual property, his name, or the Blackmoor name. We asked Studio Inkbat multiple times to send us the manuscript so the Arneson family could review it to determine if it was something the Blackmoor trademark could be attached to. Example, would the family license the Blackmoor name to Studio Inkbat based solely on the quality of the content? We received only a tiny sample, which contained elements easily copied from previously published material. We asked Studio Inkbat to temporarily remove any public notices about the project until points 1 and 2 had been addressed. This would protect them from potential liability and was a first step for Studio Inkbat to demonstrate an appreciation for Dave Arneson and his creations. Immediate action also would have shown respect to the family members. These are things that any reasonable person would ask for to protect the legacy of a late and much beloved father. None of the requests were ever fully met. I think there's too much of an emphasis on the family. I think the emphasis should be on legal rights. Just my thoughts. Since Studio Inkbat told us this event was a one-time small free distribution, we thought any license fee could be as meager as $1. The Arneson estate is in the business of licensing the Blackmoor trademark. Remember, they own it. WotC is not disputing that. I do actually believe that if you look at the upcoming Greyhawk map that has been shown, it's going to be in the D&D 2024 DMG. Blackmoor is no longer on that map. That should say something. Not long after, it became obvious to us that they did not understand how IP law works. When Studio Inkbat replied, well, since we're giving the book away for free, we don't need your permission, to paraphrase. However, this is wrong on 2 points. They do not appear to be giving the book away for free, and IP rights infringement involves publication and not money. Despite the situation clearly being a misunderstanding, we continue to reach out, while at the same time making it known we were very open to coming to an agreement with Studio Inkbat. Yet they have refused to show us any proof that Dave Arneson worked on it. Instead, they told us they had no documentation and we should look it up. And they refused to show us the entire manuscript. And then let's not forget the phone conversation where they called the estate stupid. We need time to examine the manuscript to determine if it contains anything of Dave Arneson's work or style. Time is also needed to distribute copies to numerous scholars for expert assessments of the work and its validity. Instead, they offered to send us money, possibly give us the rights to the book after Gen Con and other things, anything but fulfilling our simple requests. The issue is that without knowing the content or seeing any evidence that Arneson worked on it, we cannot simply give them a license to make claims as to the attribution and or validity of this work. Hence, their offers of money and publishing rights are not pertinent. We inform them of this, and our request to see the manuscripts continue to be ignored. Further, from the small sample Studio Inkbat sent from other content on their website and their apparent limited knowledge of IP law gathered from our correspondence, we believe the book could contain violations of other publishers and authors' IP rights, which would make the book difficult or impossible to distribute. Again, unless we can review the full content, we can't make any determination as to who can make claims to this content. Additionally, the family doesn't want to attach Dave Arneson's name to a product without providing proper credit to other creators of the content, as has been done to work Dave produced. We'd still be more than happy to examine the manuscript. We are in a quandary, as once the book is distributed, it will likely be too late to resolve this issue in a friendly way. Studio Inkbat's seeming desire to force our hand in this manner leads to more confusion, and we'd rather offer a handshake and be friends than do otherwise. Even as a derived work bearing a Blackmoor trademark, which the estate is in the business of licensing, we would still need to see the manuscript they have refused to provide. How can we issue a license to use the trademark without seeing it? We need to know the kind of content this book presents. Does the content meet the Arneson family standards for a fun adventure book, meant for general distribution, or is it aimed at an adult audience? Would you license your father's legacy to someone you knew little about, or worse, something which could lead to negative public opinion? We would like to get the whole picture, but they have yet to provide it. And as we discovered, they are not giving The Age of the Wolf away for free, but instead shadow selling their book at Gen Con 2024. The admission fee for their 14 paid events at Gen Con is $48 per person and comes with the free Age of the Wolf book. So essentially the book is $48. Do you think an unknown company's first publication could sell out all 14 events at Gen Con for $48 a head if they weren't using Dave Arneson's name and the Blackmoor trademark to promote it? We don't believe so. They're using the Arneson and Blackmoor names to sell a publication, which we can only believe is a fake. Even if they were giving the copies away at a free admission event or simply handing them out gratis to people on the street, it still infringes on the Arneson family's rights, the estate. Infringement does not have to involve money changing hands. The law is about publication and distribution. Again, this is what I believe the family, they are appealing to the emotions of us, the gaming public. But really, they should be saying, hey, listen, this is the law. We're just asking that it be followed in our best interest and the best interest of us protecting our trademark and our IP. And these people are not cooperating. I think that would have been a better stance, but what do I know? Ethics demand transparency and cooperation at the very least. The estate of David Arneson's goal is to promote and protect the legacy of the co-creator of the game that has changed the lives and so has changed so many lives for the better, and help that legacy continue into the future for all gamers. David's children and his grandchildren. Studio Inkbat claims they are honoring Dave's legacy, but are instead doing the same thing to Dave in death as many did to him in life by exploiting properties that are not theirs. Blackmoor and Arneson's name. For those going to Gen Con who have paid up front to play in an actual Dave Arneson adventure, our advice is simple: buyer beware. It is up to you as an individual to decide if attending a not Blackmoor event has value to you. Again, the estate and the Arneson family are excited to discover a new Arneson Blackmoor setting, assuming it is real. Thus, we are more than happy to review the manuscript, but Studio Inkbat has chosen to be unethical in our estimation. Chris Graves, authorized representative and bridge troll for the estate of Dave Arneson. Now, if we go to the Blackmoor, Harvard's Blackmoor blog, on the 21st of this month, he has a post about this. And Dave Arneson, here's the credits. Center for the book. Dave Arneson's Blackmoor, Age of the Wolf. Publisher, Studio Inkbat. Developer and project lead, C.A. Suleiman. Writers, Jamie Chambers, George Holland, Rhiannon Louvet, Arian Marmel, Harley Stroh, and C.A. Suleiman. Art director, Denise Robinson. What's missing from that list of creators? Dave Arneson, right? Not saying not even saying based on the works of some writing, some ideas were bit. So if you want a perception of a name being used just to sell something, that is certainly the way to do it. And yes, I recognize a number of names in that list, not all of them, but a number of them. Now here's an interesting piece. Dave Arneson's Blackmoor, Age of the Wolf, will be published under a license from Wizards of the Coast. Okay. Now, which license is that? Is that the OGL license? Because Wizards can't be licensing Dave Arneson's Blackmoor because they don't have the rights to it. Because Blackmoor is a trademark, again, not in dispute, of the Arneson estate. So, folks, if you know anything about what's going on with it, I'd love to hear about it. If you know something that I don't know, if you've got sources that I don't have, I had multiple people PM me with this original article from the estate, and I'm just wondering what other shoes are going to drop. So, folks, there's a link on the bottom of the screen, actually two. tenkars-tavern.games/PFB for the classic Pathfinder bundle, 74 PDFs for $25, and tenkars-tavern.games/RQ to RuneQuest bundle. Again, that was extended for as little as $1. You can get the RQ, the RuneQuest starter set. It's a bargain. It's well worth the money. If you haven't picked it up yet, it's a great chance to do so, and it's how you can help support this channel. Folks, like I said, we will be posting our videos to Rumble in addition to YouTube. You can catch us wherever you want, and live streams will be on YouTube, Rumble, and X. We like to give you a choice. All right, folks. On that note, be safe, be well. God bless. Roll those dice. Roll them well. Oh, by the way, it's my birthday. Bet you never even knew that. I'll catch you all tomorrow. Tomorrow, there will be a live stream. Joe Block, the Grey Hook Grognard, will be our special guest. Should be a fun show. All right, folks. Laters.